Hello and welcome to Double O Neal. My name is Tris and I'm here to talk to you about the progress of the layout. There's been a lot of thought that's gone into this. I've had a lot of feedback from you all, so I'm very grateful. I've actually spent ages looking at all the ideas. I've been sent various DMs on Instagram and some Facebook images from people. Sorry to those that I haven't replied to. Work's been busy and generally I'm looking through things, and yeah, I'll get back to you at some point, but thank you for your help. I've been looking at what to do, and actually my friend Joey, who I went to the Vale of Idol with, he pinged me through a picture, which is up on the screen now, of what I could do for the layout, and it kind of works. I thought, oh, how am I going to fit all of that in? Because a hand sketch drawing doesn't always take into consideration of getting certain radiuses in and points working, but it's worked out quite nicely. So what we do is I'll talk you through each section. I'm quite excited about it. Well, I've got my stick to point at things because it's a bit too far away at the moment. So you've got my main lines here, my up and down, and then you've got my branch line, which is over here. That's not really going to be affected. It has been suggested that I do bring the branch line into the main line. I'll think about it. This area I need to finish off before I then screw this down permanently. My idea is to work this out, so then I can then put these bits on here, finish that off, and then we'll be at a point that we can fix this down because the rest of this will be done. So it can put it puts action into this side here. Hopefully my big stick isn't too annoying for you. So you've got the main line here. We talked about it before on the last video. The point comes off here, and that sends you into the beginning of the goods yard. Immediately you get to a point which is making the head shunt for the loco to go off here. This track will be a little bit longer. Go to here, kind of meet the bridge a bit more. So that's interesting. Then you go into the asymmetric point. These are all code 75 parts and points. The main reason doing that is because of the asymmetric point. This point has cost me a lot of money because I've had to buy other points as well. Well, I didn't have to, but that's what I'm doing. So that comes off here. What I do is I turn the camera and we can talk a bit more about it. The beauty of this layout of what Joey's recommended is coming from this side. We'll have the goods come in. You've got your goods shed just here, which could be doing all of the marshalling of the wagons and vans that have come in. Then you have two kind of effective sidings for going in and out, from what I understand, as well as a regular siding that just goes to here. But the beauty of these sidings is because of this passing loop for the goods loop, we've got a loop that goes all the way around at the back there, so then they can come back and forth. They can put things on the front and back, and can do anything you like with this. So as lots of people talk about, you need to have play factor with railway. So this centerpiece is quite cool because it can go either way with whatever you want to do. Like I said, you've got some storage just here if you want for that, and the goods loop. I was a bit concerned about the goods loop, mainly because of the radius, but it's no less than first radius at the moment, and it goes round my support here, which will have a water tower kind of built into it blocking. So I'm going to cut the water tower up so it kind of blends in with this, and it can just take up some of that horrible shape. Lofts weren't designed for model railways, but we work around them, don't we? I can now use my finger for this, so much closer. So we have what will be the engine shed area where the loco will sit. So we do have our points coming here. So I've got another double slip here which connects to the goods loop that goes off that way, and then we've actually got a head shunt going off back here, so that would tuck in behind the engine shed, so you can't really see it but just out of your view. With the double slip, it takes away the need to have two sets of points, and you can condense that area. So I've got a double slip to get it there, then a double slip again. And then that obviously heads off to the goods area. So I kind of like how all this looks, the way it spreads out. Doesn't feel like too much. I think once you get some ballast on there and it's all fixed out, it'd be good. I won't be using this whiteboard for here. I don't want it to all be changing shape on me, considering the rest of it's also solid. So I will need to build up a board area here. Just here we'll have our coaling stage, just a small one, and our water tower for our loco to top up before its day's journey. As for the engine shed, I'm going to have a single one, but with the single engine shed, what we'll have is I'd like to have a longer one, so then if you wanted to, you could have, you know, 2 small locos in there, or 1 large one. There's something that interests me about that, and I don't want to just have, you know, an off-the-shelf item on the layout. I'm not really too happy with how this one is for me, so I'd like to look up some from the books that I have of engine sheds, and then I can have a little play from there. I know a few of you like the idea of having the 4-lane engine shed. That's a lot, even a twin one. In this situation, I'm still contemplating, but I think single is nicer, and then you can make this scene in front of it a bit nicer. I'd like to drop the edge of the scene down, just so it looks nice, just there. So I'll just figure this out, but I do need to build this up and move it a bit further down from where I have finished. As you can see, this finishes about here. It could finish further down, because over here you see we have the bridge, and with the bridge I always wanted to have this here. For some reason I just thought, right, let's put it here. But what will happen actually, that's going to go completely. I want to run this all the way across and figure out this other bit later. So this is actually all going to be ripped up and fresh. I know a lot of you get upset with me on that. I was never happy with it. I didn't always have perfect running on my radiuses, so I'd like to take that all away, start again, and run this back so I can have my engine shed area, so I could have a long engine shed coming to here if I really want to, with the head shunt going behind it. Again, with my siding going a bit further, it means that everything's not so immediate. The more things are spread out, the gentler it is for the eye. So let me know what you think of that. But no, I'm happy with kind of how this is working out, and it gives me food for thought. For this episode I won't be getting all the wood up and in place, but you kind of get the idea of what I'm trying to do. For this board I will be cutting where this line is here, again dropping down the front with a smooth edge with whatever it is. I'll probably just end up putting some grass or whatever was on here, build that round. Just means that when I'm taking a shot and I want to get just below the edge, I haven't got, you know, a load of wood showing. So I learnt that from the Villa Rydal layout that I was enjoying. So that will be that. The other benefit of cutting this out of the way is so I can actually reach over here. It's going to be difficult to get this corner that's over here now, so I will bring a stool in with me. The plan is to finish off all of the area back here. I've got telegraph poles I'd like to put up. I need to ballast the track at some points, and then this can be permanent. But for now I'm going to build this up as a section and just strengthen it, and then have a beam that can go down to support it on the floor. As it's a triangle, I might not need to put anything under here if I put enough support under it, but you know, better to be safer than sorry. We don't have bits cracking later on once it's on more permanently. And then this wood can be repurposed for something else, can't it? A recent purchase of mine off a certain auction site, sounds like Fleabay. I went on there and I picked up this Kill Arnie. Don't know what they don't like about Arnie, but he wasn't around during the time, so it can't be about Arnie. Obviously, joke aside, quite cool to get hold of this, painted just up in my favourite green colours. The City of Bath, I was tempted to repaint it, which would upset a lot of people, I'm sure. So actually finding this one has been a pleasure. I like the idea of collecting some more of these up at some point, so then I can I'll have a collection of them. But this looks nice, just like on the last time we talked about my layout update. We had some of these on there. I never quite like the coal. Honestly, I don't think you can replicate coal like coal is. It's shiny, that's nice, but it doesn't do it for me, so I will replace that with some coal at some point, put a crew in and go from there. But it's a great looking loco, and I've got more and more of a soft spot for them. I never used to think too much of them before, but these and the Bulldogs, I fancy sorting myself out with these as time goes by. But yeah, it's beautiful. It's a city class, part of the family that like the city of Truro came from, so it's nice to have this one to look at. So I will do some detailing on it at some point, but yeah, it's nice to share with you the new purchases I get from time to time when they're at a good price on eBay. I wish some of these things were new release so I can get them whenever I wanted. If I did change anything on here, I'd put GWR down the side, so I'd repaint the side of the tender, put GWR on there, and put some nameplates on there. Like I said before, put crew in, put coal on there, and yeah, that'll probably be it for this one. I hope you've enjoyed the video. To do this, and kind of prompt myself to finish off the other side has been the main motivation for this. To decide what I'm doing with here allows me to finish what's happening over there. Well, that's what I think for now anyway. Sometimes life isn't that easy. But the whole goods area, I'm really, really pleased with it. Again, like before, thank you to everyone that made their suggestions. Please don't be offended if I didn't go with what you were thinking. But no, really, really happy with the play factor that this is going to bring. Anyway, I want to say a big thank you to my subscribers. If you aren't already a subscriber, please subscribe. It helps grow the channel, helps get these videos out to more people who would also like to enjoy model railways, and hopefully I can help with that in some way. Please like the video if you liked it, and obviously write a comment, let me know what you think of it. If you think that I should have something more in a certain area, it's going to be a while before this is permanent, so I can add things where if you have a good point, then you know that's something that I can add to this. So yeah, please let me know. If there's anything that you really like to see more than changing, like buildings, features, I've got a few things I'm going to be adding in. It's not going to be so sparse as this. I want to make it look interesting to the eye when you look at it. So that's something that's very important for me. So that's a topic which we will be going over when I'm going to put things down and want to add to it. One thing that I feel a bit negative about with all of it is my access to the back areas there to be able to clean the track, but I do have some track cleaning. I've got a backroom brake van that can run around and hopefully clean the area. I'll be able to reach some of it, and also if I have a stool and this is sturdy, I can stand on the stool, lean forward, and I can get some of those areas. So yeah, so I think like the future videos coming from this, apart from going down the route of screwing this down and stuff like that, it will be all working on that area back there, and I've got lots of little ideas for things which will make a very interesting couple of weeks for me when I'm doing it. I want to say a big thank you to my patrons and my channel members. Your support is always welcome, and actually giving me your ideas on these bits has been really, really helpful as well. If you want to contact me, you can through Facebook. I'm not often on Facebook. I mainly do my things through Instagram, so you can DM me on Instagram. If I don't get back to you, it's either I haven't seen it or I've just been busy and not got around to it. So anyway, thank you as always. Enjoy the hobby. Go and have a look at the heritage lines if you can. I've been to a few lately when I get a moment and thoroughly enjoyed it, and they always inspire me for what I'm doing here. Anyway, see you soon. Take care. Goodbye.